Thanks, director. How y'all doing tonight? Good evening and welcome to More Than a Pretty Face live talk show. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to go ahead and get on with us. We are episode 11 of season 3, and I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a couple minutes to get on. I have beautiful guests with me tonight, and we're going to get right into her story. But while you guys are getting on and tapping in with this live, I just want to recap really fast last week, our trip to Wisconsin. And it was a fast trip, but it was packed full of fun and exciting things that happened along the way. So many of you know I traveled with the fellas of CMV, and it was me and 7 of them. And we traveled out to Wisconsin, 2 carloads full. And believe it or not, for me, it was just a good experience to kind of see what the fellas do behind the scenes. And believe it or not, they just live their life as if I wasn't there. So I don't know if I was one of the fellas or if they just respect and understand enough that I don't care what they do to just be themselves while we're out traveling with CMV. So we had a great time. 3 of the fellas opened up for Finesse 2 times, and the venue was a beautiful venue. We watched it be transformed from a restaurant into a nightclub on a Tuesday night, and we got lit out in Appleton, Wisconsin. So thank you guys for all your prayers as we traveled out that way. We got a lot of footage, as you guys have been seeing, and sharing the love with CMV and the reels and all the stuff that the fellas are doing. So again, shout out to the CMV Takeover episode last week with one of my faves, Chuck Suds, also No Love, and Waylon Dottery. Let me get his name right this time because I was very quickly corrected last week when we got off live. So my bad, Way. Let me get your name right this time. It is Dottery, okay? But I thank y'all for coming to the episode once again. And as we prepare to go to Atlanta next month, just wish us prayers as we head out in just a few weeks. The travels are not going to stop this year. So we're going to jump right into tonight's episode because we have a beautiful woman to my right. Her name is Rio Badd. Welcome to the set,
everybody.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
She has traveled down from Lansing tonight, and as many of you know, anytime that somebody travels to my show, it is just another blessing to me that somebody would take an additional time out of their day to just spend a little time on the highway to come here and share their story with us. So she is a Jackson native who is now living in Lansing, and she is pursuing her dream and career as a musician and business owner, and we're going to get right into all of that, but I'm going to let her introduce herself, and we're going to dig right into her story. I encourage you guys to tap in and really listen. I also encourage you to probably grab some tissues because it might get a little emotional. She has shared a little bit of her story behind the scenes with me, and just saying that brings goosebumps to me because this is a real raw conversation that we're going to have tonight. And also, I was just informed that this is her first podcast interview. So we have another virgin podcaster on the show, and I'm just happy to have her here to share her story. I'm blessed to have you here, beautiful. This has been actually a couple months in the making to get you here.
We've been trying to get this going for a while.
You were actually supposed to be my first guest of season 3, and unfortunately, illness around that time of the year just happens to impact.
It hit me bad.
We had to push things back, but without further ado, welcome to the More Than a Pretty Face live talk show.
Thank you. It's glad to be here. It's been much of a pleasure. You know, I've been doing some things. Of course, you know, I've got badass boutiques that I've been working on, a clothing brand that I'm starting, an online boutique, as well as Capital Vibes. If not many of y'all know about Capital Vibes, it's a platform that I have for mid-Michigan artists. So if you, whether you're a rapper, singer, a dancer, whatever it is, art creative wise, I give coverage to all of that. As well as, you know, big badass with the rap game. You know, I'm never stepping off y'all necks, but I do got a dope feature loading up for y'all. Like, it is dropping very soon. The video's getting shot next Friday. So I'm super excited about that.
So you've been very busy.
Yes,
in 2025, which is super exciting. Now we're going to get into the journey, but to talk about what is happening currently, because you've been very proactive in your social media, letting people know that, hey, I'm here and I'm here to stay. And I'm not just doing one thing. I have multifaceted things that I'm doing. So let's talk about your boutique that you have, your online boutique, and what inspired you to go into the clothing boutique lane. It's a tough lane to be in, but I think that every person, especially women with a dream, can put that in motion. So what inspired you to really push that brand and really say, this is the time to do this now?
If I'm be honest, my little sister, really, she's a fashionista. She can make something out of absolutely nothing. And she showed me this dress she made out of it must have been like a scarf or something. And it was just absolutely beautiful. So I had always told her, if you keep doing good in school, you keep doing this, I'm gonna start building something up for you. And originally I was already selling lashes. Like I was badass lashes at first. So I kind of incorporated it into a boutique. I started looking into onlines and wholesaling and drop shipping and everything in the third. And I got it set up, got the license for it. And then I, called my sister. I'm like, hold on, because this is who I'm doing it for. You feel me? I'm like, my baby's 17. She's finna be 18 here soon. Next year, I decided to put my sister as a co-member and part owner of Badass Boutiques. So we definitely liked it, and I did that for her. Most definitely. So
that's awesome. As a big sister, to set your siblings up for any type of success to come behind you, especially family locking in together, can really build a legacy to leave behind for the generations behind you. So it's important, especially us as women, to really show the people behind us that it is a possibility and encourage them to then pursue not only what they're putting into your dream, but also then whatever her dream is.
Whatever you want to be. Because originally I had told her, I'm like, you graduate high school, go off into, some little college classes. She wanted to go to art school at first. She's an artist, designer. I pay for your art school. Then she decided she didn't want to go to art school. She just wanted to design. And I said, okay, I got you. I'll give you one better. I'll put you in charge of something. And she's loving it. She's making it up right now. She's editing the stories we talk. So
nice. So now you said she created a dress. So does she design some of the clothes? Does she custom make pieces for people?
She will grab. I'm not sure if she hasn't custom made anything for somebody. I want her to. If I could line it up, I probably would. It'd be a hassle with her because she's a teenager still. But she will literally grab a piece of cloth and some scissors, cut it up, get some pins, stick it in until she can sew it together, and she'll be like, "Look,
here it is."
Like, it looks beautiful.
But that's where the creativity, especially as we watch, the younger generations come behind us. Obviously, I'm quite a bit older than you guys and way older than your sister at 17. But watching their creative minds work in a way that they can take something and make, or take nothing rather, make something out of it. You know what I mean? Their mindset is just different in that manner. And they have the help of social media to really influence them that there really is no limits in what they want to do when it comes to that type of stuff. Now with that also, you've touched on Capital Vibes as well. And Capital Vibes is close to your heart for probably many, many reasons. I've watched your story about just your journey in music in general. So what also inspired then for you to say Capital Vibes needs to happen? We need something else in the 517 area code for artists, musicians, people that want to live in the art world.
I mean, Carrie, if I'm being honest, what ignited Capital Vibes was, last summer there was a lot of parties, a lot of events happening, shows, open performances, and I had noticed a lot that not a lot of Lansing artists was getting picked for things. It wasn't. I wasn't seeing it that much, and I seen how they felt on Facebook about it, and how they felt left out in their own city, and So I'm like, well, hold on, wait a second, because we 517, like we can't be getting upset with somebody say nah. So we gonna do our own shit. You feel me? I'm gonna put something together for them, and I've been adamant on it. Like once I get it finally put together, the blog site, it started as Facebook posts, and I was like, you know what? No, I need something bigger for the artists where I can really dig into who they are, because nobody's going to read a long Facebook post like that. You know, so I had to finally got the blog page together. I am, for all the artists that I have covered this far with Capital Vibes, we'll be getting a blog post as soon as it drops. Their pages will already be there. But as far as, you know, Capital Vibes in general, I had to, because Lansing is home. You know, we got way too many artists in Lansing. There's new talent popping up every day. It's like people like, dang, I didn't even know you made music. Like it's they're everywhere. So yeah, I had to do something for the city for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, and this has been talked about so many times on this couch, in the 517 area code, which encapsulates obviously where we're at now, the Jackson area, the Lansing area.
Yeah,
there is so many artists and so many great artists out here that don't get the recognition, which is one of the reasons CMV was formed, right? When we go back to their original vision, it was, we need a local platform to play our music on. Like, can we get our music played?
We get our stuff played somewhere?
And so when you see that vision and you see a need, right, and you go for it, that success will follow in that lane. And giving people a place to tell their story is important, because a lot of us don't know who these local artists are. Yeah, you might have heard a song and be like, "Dang, who's that?" like that, and then find out they're right around the corner from you, right? And so
same city.
We have to support, especially the local artists, especially the people that want to remain independent, right? Some people are scared to go into any type of label situation because of what they have seen, what they've already experienced in the music industry, right?
Like, it's wicked for real. Like some people just aren't. Some people just want their talent to be heard. Like they don't want everything else that comes with it. If they get some pays from some streams, cool, that's fine. They get paid for some shows, cool, that's fine. But all that comes with being signed to a label, not everybody is interested in that. Me myself, I'm not interested in that. So
there's a lot, and especially when you look at the big music scene, right? When we're talking Hollywood music, I like to call it Hollywood music. It all becomes really a facade almost, to a point where you're like, how much of this life that they're living is really real anymore, or has it now gotten to a point where they're really living this fake dream life in front of the world just for the money,
for the money, just for the opinions, just for the outside looks, and it's not, none of that's even worth it. So they do that, I'm gonna do me.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
So we're gonna get deeper into Rio's story, because I think it's important, especially as a woman and an artist in a dog eat dog world. We talk about the music industry, we talk about really living as a woman in general, really trying to set our feet in the sand and really always stand 10 toes to get where we want to be, right? And for some of us, the journey is simpler. Some of us, the journey is a lot more tougher, right? And so Rio has a story that I really want you guys to prepare yourself to hear. This is the darker side of this journey that she has had to experience. And so we're going to get right into, we're going to go back in time to really get people to understand the work that you've really had to put in to be sitting here with peace of mind as a beautiful young woman who is now a business owner, who's an artist that's really pushing yourself and your brand. It didn't happen overnight, and it wasn't easy getting here.
It definitely wasn't easy.
So let's rewind to what you feel really needs to be talked about to help people understand, especially maybe even for, and if you haven't had a chance to share the live video, if you want to go ahead and share it. I don't know if you got a chance, because I jumped right into the podcast and start talking. So as I'm thinking about it, if you want to share this, for the people that know Rio personally, some of you may know this story, but from what I understand, not many people do know this journey. And this is going to be the first time that she really publicly talks about this. And so, again, I encourage you to put on what my grandson calls your listening ears and tune into this conversation. I encourage you to ask questions in the comments. This is an open area. Like I tell her, this is a judgment-free zone. And we're going to answer any questions that you guys may have along the way the best that we can. And so, again, I just ask you to tune in with us and get comfortable and learn something as we're listening to her talk about her journey to where she is now in 2025. So I'm going to let you go ahead and embrace this story. Take a deep breath and just know that you're in a safe place here. We don't do the judging stuff, and so if we see anything crazy coming in the comments, we'll address that right away. I haven't had that happen on my show, but nonetheless, I definitely want to give you the opportunity to talk about this and feel comfortable setting the tone for the conversation. So,
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start off by saying, well, shoot. Okay. Uh, this music game, like Carrie was saying, there's a lot that comes with it that's not spoke about. You know, there's a lot of tragedy and traumatic events that can take place when you're trying to pursue a career in music that a lot of people don't tell you about. And me myself, I know firsthand just how wicked it could actually get. So I want to say this was like in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. My favorite artist ever, the one I got the feature with, she finally came to Lansing. Finally had a concert in Lansing. I'm young, but I'm finna go. Cause what? I want to see Rocky.
Right.
Well, I was going to tell y'all anyway, but I was like, yeah, I want to see Rocky. You feel me? So I'm like, I'm out there with my people and stuff. I'm like, we all out there. We going. We get there. It's packed. Of course, I enjoy myself. It was a beautiful night. Nothing against the artists. You feel me? That everything that took place was like outside afterwards and stuff. So, yeah, we get outside and I'm conversating because of course while we were in the party, I was rapping along to her song so well. Her sister ended up handing me the mic, and I'm like, I'm rapping the song too. I'm like, what? I'm going crazy. Like, I know your song word for word. What we finna do? So I get outside and someone's like, oh, I caught you. You must be an artist. You must be a rapper type of. They came at me like they was like a manager situation, like they was a manager promoting or something or whatever. Gave me that contact info. We were supposed to have a sit down meeting. And, my older cousin was gonna be there with me. And by the time we didn't even get a chance to really even set the meeting for real because stuff got crazy outside the party. And as people was running and pushing and passing, cousin went one way, I went the other. The whole time I'm really getting snatched up. You know what I mean? It took off. So I did end up in Detroit for about 7 months. I was trafficked at a very young ass age, which is the dark side that can come with this shit. That can happen to honestly anybody. It's not really strictly prohibited to music, but you just gotta. There's not even really no tell signs, no signs. You just gotta be safe at all times. Make sure you always go with somebody whenever you go anywhere. Keep mace, whatever you need. Don't go nowhere with a dead phone, like all that. Right. Definitely stay safe as a lady out here because it can get very treacherous. But after all that took place and, I was found that guy came got me, I did end up going to a placement, though. They didn't let me go straight home. They kept me in Detroit, and I was at a placement facility for 2 years. And that, boy, Carrie, I have never had to get so many altercations in my entire life. I felt like I was in a war. Like,
so if you don't mind me asking, I'm so sorry that you went through that. Just going back to the night a little bit, when all this was happening, and you said you and your cousin got separated. At what point did you realize you were in danger? Was it very immediate you realized you were in danger, or was it like
it wasn't like immediate because once I got grabbed, I'm thinking like, okay, I look and I see. I was just talking to this man. It's people, fighting, pushing in front of me. I'm thinking he's trying to get me back, like get out the way. And I'm okay. So he got me in the back. I'm walking backwards with him, but I'm walking backwards a little bit too far, and I get pushed into a car. So and it's just That was definitely, and it wasn't only even that though. My best friend was with me as well.
So there was more.
There was two. It was two of us, and my best friend was there with me as well. And before anybody try to say anything about, oh, why you ain't try to leave or anything else, I had somebody else I had to think about. So definitely wasn't finna. And mine is, remember, this is Detroit.
Right.
I'm young as hell. I don't know nothing about this big ass
Just
city.
to clarify for the audience and for those, and thank you guys for tapping in with us. For people that don't know or realize, how old were you when this happened?
I was 15.
So 15 years old, you guys. We're talking a baby, really. 15 as a baby. To be in Detroit, I can't imagine even now experiencing something like that. And so all this happens, and you're now in Detroit, and these horrific things are happening to you. At any point, that's not a good question. Let me rewind.
Yeah, that's what you gotta ask.
During this, I'm sure in your brain, even as a 15-year-old, you're trying to figure out how the hell
to get away from
do I get out of here? How do I get to a phone? How do I attract somebody's attention? Also realizing and knowing that your best friend and cousin are probably wondering what the hell is going on. Probably having somewhat of an idea because they were in the chaos. So maybe they have some sort of idea, but not really knowing what happened. And then also your family being terrified.
Yeah.
So obviously family was searching for you as a 15-year-old that's missing now, right? It took 7 months. So my next question is, you said after they found you, you were then placed in a home.
Yeah. A girl's home. It was
what was the reason for that? I guess this is an ignorant place for me, but what was the reason for them not allowing you to go home at that point? Like, why did you have to go into a placement center after this? Like, was it?
I want to say, I do want to set the record straight that when I was going through all this, my best friend was with me. Like, we was going through it together.
Okay,
like,
so it was not just you.
Yeah, it wasn't just me. That's why I was like, I can't just make no big ass plan and bust up out of here, right? Type shit. You feel me?
Okay, I didn't realize. I thought you were referring to in the parking lot. There was more than one of you. So how could you get away without trying to get them? So my apologies. I didn't understand that part. Okay, so you both two were there going through this together. So not that it makes it any better. At least you have somebody there though with you.
Yeah.
At least you have somebody there with you, and so not going through it completely alone. But I still, there's just nothing in this world that can fathom what is actually happening as a child in your experience in this. So you guys was she also placed in the home as well after?
She was placed in a home, but they separated us. They didn't put us together. So they kept me in Dearborn, or they put me in Dearborn, and they said call it Dearborn, but no, that was not Dearborn. I was on 8 Mile.
You said you was on 8 Mile.
8 Mile. They lied, but and they sent her to Ipsy, if I'm not mistaken. Placement out in Ipsy. So for a second, we had the same caseworker. We was able to like write notes and stuff back and forth through our caseworker, and then they switched them. It was just over.
So they took the communication from you guys away. So add trauma to an already highly traumatizing situation. Yeah. So during this 2 years, obviously you said several altercations, which I can just imagine in a girl's placement home. What's happening with teenagers? Obviously traumatized teenagers. There's a reason that
definitely traumatized kids for real.
So during this time, as you're going through these situations and you're having to fight really for survival inside there as a teenager, are they helping you as far as therapy, or what's going on as far as like any type of trying to help you through this trauma, or like what's going on during this time?
I mean, they gave us a therapist, but we also had court hearings that we had to attend to as well. So our therapist was really only there to report to the judge. Like, so not a lot of people really feel comfortable with sitting there telling you like was really going through my mind because I ain't trying to be here no longer than I gotta be.
Right.
Like they actually pushed my time back twice. I was supposed to have. I was
So
supposed to be
were
gone.
there charges against you
No,
guys?
there was
Like,
no
what
charges.
was the like?
It was
I'm
like
so lost
I
on
don't
the
like.
system right
Okay,
now.
so the placement that I went to was called Vista Maria.
Mhm.
It's like they have a girls' home. They have like on campus homes, but then they have other buildings for runaways or for homicidal kids or for domestic violence or for trafficking survivors. Like they keep us all separated in different buildings, but we all go to the same school. You know, we all go see the same judge. You know, a lot of our court hearings was actually in Lansing, and I had to come back to Lansing a lot to go to court. So
So as a trafficking survivor, they put you through this placement home. So you're going through school, you're doing all the things that you're supposed to be doing, but in an environment that's not home.
yeah,
right,
I wouldn't even. I don't think I would even consider that school a school for real. Because yeah, I got home and I took my report, my credits, and my transcripts to that school. They wanted to laugh at me. They like what was they teaching you? I wasn't learning nothing there. Like, yeah, they let me fall behind for 2 whole years. There was no way for me to actually catch back up for real. I'm honestly still trying to catch back up because I do so much stuff. And yeah, that nah.
She said the school was not schooling there.
The school wasn't schooling, y'all. It wasn't schooling.
I mean, which that's a whole nother conversation, right? Inside the justice system, and the broken system of juveniles and placement centers and prisons and jails. That's a whole different conversation. But during this time, I assume, because you're an artist and probably one of your outlets is writing, I imagine that during this 2 years, one of your saving graces was your music.
It definitely
and poetry and writing. And so let's talk about that experience and the emotion that came from that tragedy that you have survived. And again, I'm blessed to have you sitting here with a peace of mind, and I'm sure still struggling to put together the pieces of that experience, which will forever sneak up on you. And so I continue to encourage you to work through those emotions and triggers as they happen. But while you were in there writing during this time, and now, this isn't that long ago, you guys. We're talking 2021.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. For real.
We're talking somebody that's not been free of this situation very long. And so I'm sure a lot of this is a reflection in your music. And so let's talk about some of the songs or some of the lyrics that have come through now, as you've transcended through this experience and through this journey to really build yourself to a woman of wholeness, sitting here saying, I have survived a very traumatic experience that many people have not, but also there are hundreds of people that can very closely relate to what you've gone through.
I mean, music definitely kept me sane in there. I don't know how else I would have made it out of that, for real. They probably would have gave me another year if I didn't have my music. My mom ended up getting me an MP3 player, loaded with beats. Stuff. I said, I bet, cool. Used to lock myself in a room during little nap times and stuff. Wouldn't come back out for extra 4 or 5 hours and just sitting there writing. Just writing, headphones in, banging, just going crazy, That's definitely kept me sane. And I actually did end up making a song about what happened. It's called Hard Knock, and it's out. But I don't really you come across it, but that's not really something I'm gonna just sit there and promote, because it's personal. And but the music definitely helped me a lot. And if I'm being quite honest with you, there was a point in time in my life, like I was a lot younger, but there was a point in time in my life where I completely forgot how to rap. I completely forgot how to rhyme, how to write raps, how to sing, how to harmonize, how to put to I can't tell you, I forgot. It was so
trauma
bad.
will do that to you though, and through our throughout life and throughout our journey. When you experience things, our conscious mind tends to, sometimes waver in what we know or the things that we've learned. and we have to fight to get those things back, right?
Yeah.
But when you're passionate about something, when you love something, when you feel so whole about something, you work to get to that place to find your
to
harmony
find
again.
it back. Like it didn't even come back to me. I had to learn how to do it again. My sound that I have now versus the sound that I had back then, it's not the same. It's completely different. Like you would be able to tell. It's like I used a lot more fucking words in my song back then. Like I was more into the bar. I was like basically living through the bar back then. You know, now it's just I'm just trying to piece something back together and see what rhyme. But I snap back. Most definitely snap back.
So with thank you guys for joining in tonight. I appreciate you guys tuning in with this wonderful interview again here with Rio Badd, Jackson native, but coming to us from Lansing tonight to talk about her story. Now through music and through your experiences, what is out of your current music or even just overall your music album, because you have a lot that you're bringing back. You got a lot coming. You're pulling some stuff out.
It's coming.
That's kind of been on the hard drives for a little while, but she's gonna pull out some stuff. She's got a dope single coming up with a wonderful feature, which she accidentally dropped to us with earlier. So we're gonna let her talk about that. But when you get into the story, you just talk about it, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens. That's how we go back to authenticity. That's just what happens. But what is one of your favorite songs that you have written? Obviously, this new one coming up has got to be, because you've been super excited about it. But let's talk about the way you get to your stories in writing.
I mean, for me, when it comes down to writing, I've never been a fan of writing about something that I have not been able to obtain. I've never been a fan of writing something that I have not lived through, I have not experienced, or I do not know of firsthand. So all my songs is true. All my songs is me. If you know me, you will be able to listen to my song like, yeah, I remember that happened. I remember that too. I remember like, like I can't rap about something that I haven't been around, haven't seen, haven't lived through, so it's just sometimes I just be goofing around, but most of the time I'm gonna keep it real and raw with y'all.
The real and raw music is, to me, we talked about this a little bit before the set. Like, listen, I love music and I love being able to know artists and be able to sit and have conversations, because as much as we love the big time artists, the big, the big people that are out here living, the big life. When you're able to sit down next to an artist, have a conversation, listen to their story, understand that you're just like us, right?
Yeah.
Artists are just people like us.
That's it.
That have a dream and a passion to do something and present their art in a different way, right? I would love to be able to sing, but that wasn't the gift that I was given. I talk a lot better than I sing. So, but music in a sense is such a healing aspect for so many people. And so as you put out music and as you, continue on this journey, is that part of why you do it? For your own healing and for, the experience of others to feel healing through that.
It is. I definitely write music for my own healing, but I know that things that I've been through, I wouldn't say everything I've been through, but majority of things that I go through, a lot of people have went through as well. So, when I'm writing for me, I'm really writing for y'all, So whatever I put on that paper, I'm trying to make sure y'all can feel that. You feel me? I'm trying to make sure it touches y'all too. So that's a lot of my songs is like that. Like I have been dipping into R&B though, and I have a plethora of songs. Like honestly, I don't just stick to rap. I'm not just a rapper, y'all. I'm not just a rapper, y'all. I'm a singer. I'm a poet. I'm all that. Like I can harmonize songs for you. But
she said she can harmonize, y'all. We gonna let you go ahead and get to it here in a couple minutes. When it comes to putting together a song, and I feel like I ask this to every artist, but in my brain, right, I'm not an artist, and so I always try to say, dang, what's the thought process? What's the process? And for every artist, I feel like it's just a little bit different, right? For you, is it the beat comes and then the lyrics? Do you write the lyrics and then find the beat? Is it a blend of the two? Like, what is your process to get to the final?
It's kind I wouldn't say it's a blended two because I stopped doing it. I did used to write and then try to find a beat, but I found myself not being able to find beats to my songs unless I got them made. So now I definitely find my beats and I write my songs. But what gives me the idea of what song to write is more so the bass in the song, not the song title, y'all. Because I see a lot of people getting type beats and then naming a song after the type beat, and I listen to the bass, like the instruments in the beat, So like, if I'm hearing harmonies, symphonies, piano keys, and all that, okay, we're finna mellow this out, we're finna slow this down, we're finna get sweet on this, maybe get a little sad. I don't know,
Right.
but if I'm hearing I'm about to talk my shit. What are you talking about? Like, it is really like, and sometimes I would take my song title idea, or even not the song title, but my makeup of the song idea from the title, but I would just basically put it in a category like, okay, so like basically Stand On It was already called Stand On It because that was already a song. Everybody knows Lotto did Stand On It, and boo-hoo. But I really just find that category because whatever it says, you just space it in there, figure out what you want to write about, what you can write about, turn it up, make it yours. That's about it. That's all it is.
So the song that you're getting ready to drop, this single, right? Let me get the names of stuff right, because you get to hear about albums, mixtapes, all these different things that I be confused as heck about, because to me it's all just music. I got my audience back here cracking up at me because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. But so you have a single coming up, and like you said earlier, we talked about who was on this single, who's the feature, but let's talk about it a little more because it sounds like this was a dream come true for you to have this person in a feature. So let's talk about the song and how you accomplished getting the feature. As many artists out here know, it's not easy to always get the feature you want. Sometimes it costs a lot of money to get the feature that you want, but definitely working towards that and really getting those features for artists is important in your journey, is in really being able to say, hey, that's part of my album, that's part of my catalog. So let's talk about it. What's the song called? Who's the feature? And if you want to drop a couple verses, feel free to do so and bless the audience's ears tonight.
Yes, ma'am. So the song is called Stand On It. It is actually a remix because my original version is already posted. It's already out. It's been out for a while. It's done numbers. It's already at 12K streams. So that's why I had to get a remix for it. I had to. Hey, and I told myself, if I ever paid for it, if I ever fixed my hands to pay for a feature, it was gonna be Rio Badd. That had to be the first one, at least. It had to be the I know I ain't go through it. It'll be
all this,
for
like,
real.
I
need you, baby. So I definitely I've been following her on Instagram for a long time, and Rocky's a humble person. She's not one of those A-listers. Oh, it's hard to get in contact with her. You got to reach somebody else. Like, you can talk to her. So I caught some features she was throwing on her story at one point. She was like, last one, lock in. I didn't even care. I didn't even have it then. I told my boyfriend, I said, hey,
I'm about to lock in. We about to lock in.
I said, I got this. I need to lock in. He said it to me, I locked that bitch in. I said, yup. We in there.
I need that. A question coming from one of the viewers. How long did it take you to create Stand On It?
Oh, if I'm being honest, it probably took me a day and a half to write Stand On It. Because, and I'm going to tell you why, because it don't always take me that long to write all my songs. Sometimes it takes me 2 days. Sometimes I'll really be sitting on it for like a week or something. But Stand On It was like, it was the beat, y'all. It was like, okay, so when I listen to a beat, if I automatically have like 2 bars that come to my mind, it's done.
Right.
It's done.
It's like already there.
It's over with. You feel me? Like, but if I gotta listen to it into the hook and into the end and find placements, and it's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a minute. But if I get that, oh yeah, just like Boom, the Boom remix I did, that came to me ASAP. Like, as soon as I heard it, the song was done that day within the hour. I said, yeah. So it really depends on the beat, the vibes, how I'm feeling. Like, if I'm trying to write or if I'm just fooling around listening to beats and not trying to write, like, I I'll find a beat, write down a couple bars, add the beat title, and put it up. Like, that's about it. So,
you guys stay tuned. Me and her have talked about this a little bit behind the scenes. I asked her a little while ago. We just haven't got back into it because she's busy. I've been busy. We're traveling. She's doing business stuff. But a jingle will soon be a part of More Than a Pretty Face, and this will be the beautiful voice you will be hearing behind it. So we're going to get that in order. Hopefully, as season 3 continues, we got about 7 more episodes of the season. If we keep it at the 18 per season, we'll see what we'll see what happens. It's been a packed season, but I can't wait to hear that. I actually wrote a couple things, but I would love to hear what you could put your spin on too. With this, because it just needs it, right? I need the beginning of my show to be set up with something that's like get on the show and watch.
It's time to get in here.
Tap in with us. But going forward into your journey, obviously your journey has been long, but you're still a baby in this. Obviously,
I'm only 20. I'm only 21. Yeah.
Right. I'm like, you're actually younger than I thought. Not that I thought you were old.
How did you think I was?
I didn't realize you were like in the middle of my kids, right? So I have a 19-year-old, a 25-year-old, and a 28-year-old. I didn't realize you were like in that mix. I thought about 24, honestly. I thought you were about 24.
Yeah, 21.
You don't really look 24, but for some, I don't know if it's the maturity. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
it's probably right.
You come across very grown. Not too many 21-year-olds out here are starting businesses and really excel in their own journey.
Wish they would. Please, y'all.
Be an inspiration. That's what you're here for.
I'm trying.
It's possible. You guys is basically what we're saying. Whatever you want to set yourself up to do, you definitely can. It goes back to teaching our youth. Find what you love to do and find a way to make money doing it. That will always be something I forever say.
Yeah.
I taught my kids that way, and they're very successful in what they do, and that's the best way to get there. And the earlier, obviously, that you learn that lesson and really put the effort into it, the longer you can live that dream and really excel in it. But going forward in your music journey, obviously, you have a long time to be in this business. As long as you choose to go through. And now the brighter side of your journey, I think hopefully the darkest days are behind you. And again, I'm very sorry that you went through that. But you've got your first exciting paid feature out of the way.
I do.
But if we were talking, let's go R&B and rapper. If we had to pick R&B and rapper that you could pull right now and say, man, I would just love to have you on a song right now. Who would be the rapper and who would be an R&B singer that you would love to have a collab with or a feature with?
R&B singer would have to be Summer Walker.
Summer Walker. Ooh,
for sure.
That's a good one.
Summer Walker for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Rapper, I'm sorry guys, Lady London.
Ooh.
I need Lady London.
She said Lady London, y'all.
I need Lady London. I'm sorry, fellas.
That's all right. Listen. The women got to band together sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We got to stick together out here. 2 dope artists. Yes. Summer Walker is one of my favorite, actually. I love her sound. I love her style. I just love her vibe. So 2 dope. Those would be 2 dope artists to hear you with.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. Hey, Teresa. Yes, big business owner. Listen, 21 years old is at 46, it's scary to do anything outside of what I've always known, which is go to work every day. You know, do what I do, take care of kids, and I don't got to take care of kids no more. But I'm still like a person that has been in such fear of taking that leap because when I did it in 2018, it didn't go right. You know what I'm saying? So I had to retreat and go back to work. But at 21, taking that leap of faith and really just saying, I'm Rio Badd, I'm Badass Boutique, I'm about to do this, I'm Capital Vibes.
Doing it.
It's a blessing to really be able to come through what you have been through and really be sitting here, like I said, in a great state of mind with the pressure to continue to push yourself forward and not let your story be your downfall.
Yeah.
And so it's an encouraging story to be told. And I hope that the people that have been with us tonight and the people that will be watching this on the rewatch, I hope that you guys take pieces of this and just understand that even in the darkest of days, even going through things that many of us cannot imagine, there is a way out. Staying positive through all of this, finding something to focus on that you actually really love to do, to be able to get you through those things. For Badass Boutique, where can people find you? Where can they find Capital Vibes? Give everybody how they can locate all of your stuff before we get into the end of the show. We want to make sure people can find you and find your merchandise, and also maybe be able to tap in with some custom pieces as your sister grows into being a co-owner of this business.
So the official launch for the Badass Boutique website is going to be April 10th.
April 10th. So upcoming, you guys. That's just in about 2 weeks.
It
2 weeks from tomorrow, maybe?
Yes, it
2
is.
weeks from tomorrow?
2 weeks from tomorrow. It'll be officially uploaded. I will have, the full 9 done. I will be posting a link a little bit beforehand, though, for like a subscribers list. But all the subscribers that join that list will have a discount code sent to them. 50% off. Just off the
Pay
left.
attention, y'all. Go follow.
You want 50% off some badass clothing from Badass Boutique. All my bad bitches know what's up. Come on, stop playing. And Capital Vibes is being launched the week after that on the 17th.
All right. So back-to-back business launch dates, you guys, April 10th and April 17th. Be paying attention and tapping in. You can find Rio on all digital platforms, I believe.
Yes. You can find me on all digital platforms. On Instagram, I'm Rio Badd. Facebook, Rio Badd. YouTube.
With 2 D's.
2 D's.
Real Bad.
The Real Bad. You feel me? Any music-wise, Rio Badass. And yeah, y'all can find me anywhere for real.
With summer coming up, let's jump off the music stuff for a while. Anything exciting coming up for summer vacation plans? Any traveling you're doing? Anything you want to get done for the summer, the next quarter of the year? We're already about to be in the second quarter of 2025. Y'all, I don't know how we're here already, but April 1st starts a new quarter.
Man.
And so we're already coming into the second part of the new year. So what are you looking forward to as we go into the next phase of 2025? As you've been super busy already, but things will not be slowing down, I don't think, for her at all.
No, they will not. I told myself this year, 2025, I'm going to go full-fledged, hitting the stone with everything, Badass Boutique, music, and Capital Vibes, because at the end of this year, I want to be able to separate myself from one thing, maybe 2, but I got to figure out which one that is. It might be music, y'all. I'm sorry, but I've been doing this for too long.
Listen, you'll never know where the journey will take you.
That's why I'm always gonna give y'all something here and there, but I will figure out what I want to give my full attention to by the end of this year.
Yeah,
we gonna know.
Let 2025 be enlightening to you.
Yep.
Take the opportunities as they present themselves.
Yep, I got a Memphis trip planned. I'm going out. I want to go to Atlanta as well. I heard y'all talking about I'm going there too.
Yes,
you feel
Atlanta,
me?
you guys.
I'm trying to get everywhere, skedaddle,
I need to get to Memphis. Shout out to my bestie down there. I love you, miss you, boo. Atlanta is a whole vibe. It's a different. Have you ever been to Atlanta?
I've only been to Florida.
I've only been to Florida. Outside of Michigan?
Outside of Michigan. That's the only place I've been. Florida.
Atlanta is just a different. I've only been last year when we went down to the Black Effect Podcast Festival, which is what we're traveling for again this year. It's a whole different vibe down there. And I just say that because even though you're like in the presence of all these famous people, right? They're humble. They're cool. You just get to walk right up and have conversations with them.
Yeah.
And so we're there last year. That was like the networking, the conversations, the encourage, like I talked about in the podcast a couple weeks ago. T.I. was just so empowering when he was talking on that stage. It was just like, focus on what you want to do. Don't let nobody tell you can't. And just get to it, basically. Yeah. And it just was in my brain, like last year at this time, I had only been with CMV for a couple months. And I didn't really know what was going to happen with the podcast, right? I knew I wanted to do it, but what was going to happen was unbeknownst to me.
Right.
And here we are mid-season 3 and really full throttle. So Atlanta is a place to really go for that pick-me-up. Music wise though, it's gonna tell you you're not ready to sit it down. It's gonna push you to keep doing it. I love your vibe. I love your music. I think that in person you're probably got the cutest vibe up on the stage.
I'm not as hard as I be sounding, y'all. I'm really sweet.
Trying to play that tough role, you know what
I'm really nice.
She want to be a tough rapper, but really she R&B at heart. You know what I mean? She got a little
scissor, little LMA, baby.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Listen, versatility in the music world is the best place to be because really, what is the limits if you really are an artist, right? I just say, if you know how to harmonize, if you know how to put lyrics together, if you know how to write, really, it's like endless possibilities, honestly, because every type of music kind of crosses each other in the big scheme of music. It all has influences from every other part of music: country music, jazz music, rap music, rock and roll. It all intertwines pieces. So like, doesn't matter what type of music you're doing. If you're an artist, you really can deliver in a way that people like me can.
Yeah.
I know what harmonies are, but I don't have none. Okay, I don't know how to do it. Before Jock quit laughing at me. Before we leave, do you want to drop a couple verses, any bars for us? Let the audience hear what they are missing if they're not following you on your social media platform. We would love to hear you.
Y'all know, I did want to give you a snippet of Stand on It.
Go ahead.
The remix, you know. So,
yeah, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Listen to Facebook. Don't be cutting me off because she here playing her own music, okay?
Okay, I own this beat. You play this beat anywhere, it's gonna say "Stand on It," Rio Badass. Stop playing with me. All right, y'all. I just played into it.
Yep, to the front part of it. Let us know if y'all can hear it.
Real bitch, real stepper from the jump. Can't fuck with me. She tries to do it. Little sound fucked around and couldn't see. Like you stingy with your money. That's from years in poverty, but I step on me a bitch, babe. It ain't nothing stopping me. Summer 25. Please don't think you getting no free pass. If I told you it was up, next time I see you, I'm on your ass. I don't care if we at a function, I'm performing or in class. Play that victim all you want, I'm still gonna get up in your ass. She said it's smoke with me. Tell that hoe make sure she stand on it. Ain't no smoking free. Fuck around and put my mans on it. I don't go back and forth with no one. I make niggas stand on it. I'm not beefing with no rabbit. I don't put my hands on it. Any bitch who says smoke, getting ass and hell. Act like they don't want it. I'm a passenger, my blick sit in my front. That ain't the fun. Bitch, my ex, I quit this baby getting dumped. Jose can't grip for me, so I can't say you won't get jumped in your mouth. And she can get it, so believe that. They clocking tea, I'm clocking bitches, pushing weave and tea back. Run up on her, run her pockets, what you mean you need that? I come from bitches sleep back. They bring you real, see that.
Hey, my boy Case Flow out of Florida. He's a dope rapper. He said, "Do not quit, shorty. For real. Do not quit.
Never gonna stop.
Don't ever stop doing what you love. Listen, I know. I just posted about this. Everything in life is about balance.
Yes.
But when you love something, you find a way to balance.
You
it
find
all.
a way.
You know what I'm saying? So listen, you could have your badass boutique. Capital Vibes and be doing all the things you love, music involved. Listen, put a stage in your boutique and do shows.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Anything.
Yes.
You definitely have a great artistry about you. You have a cute personality.
Thank you.
Continue to share the love of everything that you do with everybody. Do not get discouraged. That's one thing. Social media is such a blessing and a curse, you guys. Let me not say we. She grew up with social media. I did not grow up with social media.
It's overrated,
but it's definitely a blessing and a curse. When it's used in the right way, it's the biggest blessing that we have, honestly, to be able to reach millions and millions of people across the world in real time right now and be able to share our stories and allow people in. But the downside of that is the dark side of people and the hate that comes through social media. But I always say, don't let the haters discourage you. Let them elevate you to the next level. If they're watching, they're helping you out.
Yep.
No matter what they think, they could be sitting up here talking all the trash they want. But if they watching, they helping. So
thank you.
Shout out to all the haters out here watching. All of us do.
Shout out to y'all.
We appreciate y'all. Before we get off of here tonight, again, I definitely appreciate you traveling across the way to come visit us here. Shout out to Catch My Vibe Radio. I did not do this at the beginning of the show, but I will do it before we leave. For always being here to record More Than a Pretty Face live talk show. Shout out to Becky and Cameron, who are always here. Chuck and Spirit every single time he's watching the show with us. So shout out to you guys. Before we leave the show tonight, what would you like to leave with the audience, either about yourself, encouraging words, words of wisdom, whatever you would like to leave with the audience? The floor is yours, Miss Rio Badd.
Well, as far as me, definitely stay tuned with me. I'm going to be dropping a lot. I'm gonna be on your screens whether you like it or not, you know. So get with that. But I do got some words for y'all. Whatever it is that you feel like you can do, just know that you can do that shit. And I want just the moment you figure out you can do it, I want you to go full fledged, full throttle with it. And anybody that tell you can't, spin the block on them when you get there. That's
Absolutely.
it.
Yes. What she said, y'all. Never let a person that wants to be in your shoes tell you to stop going because they're just trying to catch up.
Yes.
So keep pushing ahead, stand 10 toes on everything that you do. And do not let the words of others stop you in your tracks. You're an inspiration, young lady. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm looking forward to the boutique. I love clothes. I also like custom stuff. I don't know how
And
to
I
sew
do make
anything,
custom clothing too.
Oh,
so.
shoot. See, I need to cut up some hoodies and have her reassemble them. You know, I have a million of them, but I want to switch how they look.
Yes, we can do that for real.
But I appreciate you for blessing the show. And if you want to come back, I definitely would love to have you back. I love to bring people back. But you guys, shout out to her for being on her first podcast interview. I'm always blessed and thankful to have people, again, like I shared earlier this week, people that feel comfortable to come here and have this conversation with me and have their journeys be told on this couch. Just shows me that what I'm doing is for the greater good of the people around me. Everyone's story deserves to be told, and I'm grateful to have a place that people feel comfortable to come and share their story. So I love y'all for watching and tuning in every single week with me. I will be back next week, which is already April 2nd. I don't know what's on the calendar, so stay tuned. I will see y'all next week, Wednesday at 7:15 p.m. on More Than a Pretty Face live talk show. And we will be talking about all things Atlanta coming up as well. Shout out to you again, Rio. Check her out on all social media.
Guys.
Rio Badd with 2 Ds.
Two
Love
Ds,
y'all.
bitch.
See y'all next week. We out.
Bye.